All right, Ji, thank you so much for participating, for filling the feedback form. We're moving to the closing ceremony as per the agenda item number 4. Um, Allow me to introduce our first guest speaker for closing ceremony, Air Vice Marshal Dr. Rizwan Riaz, Setare Imtiaz Military. Dr. Rizwan assumed the Office of Pro-Rector Research, Innovation and Commercialization in April 2021 in the National University of Science and Technology, bringing with him the extensive experience of academic research and technology management. His affiliation with NUST dates back to 2008 as faculty member and recently as Principal Research Center for Modeling and Simulation. He is a graduate in aeronautical engineering from US Air Force Academy with distinction. He obtained Master in Aerospace Engineering from NUST, uh, and he is the PhD in Mechanical Engineering, Computational Fluid Dynamics from University of Manchester, UK. In his current role as Pro-Rector Research, Innovation and Commercialization, he is committed to taking NUS to ever higher levels of meaningful research and development as fourth generation university. Thank you, sir, for taking your time out of your schedule and joining us today.
Thank you very much, Ali. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, sir, you are.
Okay. Thank you very much for having me. And this is such an important forum when we're talking of pollution and air quality. Air quality directly impacts us, we breathe it. So I think nothing more important than air. Let me take these few moments to brag about the work that we do at NUST in relation to this topic and overall climate research, and also share some thoughts about how we should go forward. So first of all, I would like to very proudly announce that NUST takes social responsibility very seriously. And in that, we take the environment and climate very seriously. So NUST is #1 in Pakistan, ranked #1 by the Times Higher Education ranking in the UN sustainability goals. What that means for us is, why I say I'm very proud of saying this, is because we actually care about this. And therefore, when we do our work and it's recognized internationally, it means a lot. How do we do that? We are the only university which has a dedicated Office of Sustainability as part of its research culture. We are one of the few universities with a very active program of research and academics on environment and climate. For example, we have technologies and projects being done in line with the government goals related to EVs, solars, water filtration, air quality monitoring, etc. And I'll talk about a couple of them. We are also one of the major partners in planting the trees. So the Pakistan's first billion tree and the next tree, NUST is one of the greenest campuses you're going to find as far as the new trees are concerned. What we need to work on as far as environment and air quality is concerned, and it's very relevant to the training sessions that you've had, is, as we say, air is the primary thing that we breathe. So it's one of the most important things. It impacts us not only in health, it impacts us in cognitive abilities. It has been scientifically proven that poor air quality affects your cognitive abilities. So as researchers, as scientists, and as faculty members, and as students of the universities, we understand cognitive abilities more than pretty much anybody. So NUST has a few projects ongoing which relate to monitoring of air quality using optical sensors placed in different parts of Islamabad. So you shine a beam of laser from here to about 10 kilometers away, and you can see the dispersion patterns, etc., and figure out pretty much the same method that NASA uses to detect the atmospheres of exoplanets. Then we have work going on artificial trees, air scrubbers, carbon dioxide harvesters. So lots of projects and technology work already going on in these areas. Also, we have one of the top advanced biosciences center in NUST, which is doing a lot of studies in trying to figure out the health impact directly, be able to quantify it. And since we have a lot of pollution in some areas of Pakistan, we can start to compare the different qualities and how they're impacting the different lives. So with all that effort, what we are actually doing is we are investing in the future of not only Pakistan, but the world. Air quality and climate does not impact a region, it impacts the world. The recent heat wave in the US and Canada Northwest is a proof of that. We always think of Pakistan as one of the hottest areas, but I've seen pictures of what happened in Canada recently, and you can see the climate impacting the rest of the world as badly or as harshly as it does us. Jackbabad in Pakistan has had record temperatures. It's always has record temperatures, but it has broken its own records by many degrees this year. And that's very, very alarming. So while air quality and climate is something that we can talk about in scientific terms and in governmental terms, it is something which is affecting us very directly today. And we should probably be giving it the same amount of focus as we give to COVID and the other pandemics. Because believe me, this climate change is going to kill more people than any pandemic that we have had. So we have to start taking it very seriously. And I'm so glad that the US Embassy is our partner in creating this embassy. Thank you very much, Mr. Castillo, for being here and for your support. I hope that, with your support and other developed countries leading the charge and the developing countries jumping on to whatever resource that they can, we can face this challenge quickly and effectively. Thank you very much all.
Thank you, Dr. Rizwan. Thank you so much for sharing your insights with us on this very important occasion. Allow me to introduce our second guest speaker for the Ray Castillo is Ray Castillo is currently serving as the Country Public Affairs Officer at US Embassy Islamabad. Before joining US Embassy, he served as the Press Attaché at US Embassy Kyiv. Before joining Kyiv, he served as the Acting Deputy Chief of Mission at US Embassy Prague in 2017 and was the Counselor for Public Affairs in Prague for 3 years. Before Prague, Ray served as the Director of Strategic Communication in the Office of Public Affairs at US Embassy, Kabul. He has served as the Public Diplomacy Desk Officer for Russian Affairs and a Special Assistant to the Secretary for Public Diplomacy and Public Affairs covering Latin America and Africa. Ray also served Public Affairs Officer in Windhoek, an Economic Officer and a Consular Officer in Kuala Lumpur. Before joining the Department of State, he served as 11 years in NASA, where he was the executive producer of NASA television, and he has the master's degree from George Washington University. Thank you so much, Ray Castillo, for joining us today.
Well, good afternoon, and thank you for having me. Pro-Rector, Air Vice Marshal Dr. Rizwan Riaz, Masterclass Program Lead Dr. Mohammed Fahim, and the Masterclass team at the National University of Science and Technology Institute of Environmental Engineering and Sciences. And greetings as well to all of the members of the NUST Professional Development Center, to the distinguished speakers, to NASA research scientist Dr. James Crawford, and finally to you, the participants who are members of our alumni exchange organization and represent 14 chapters of PUAN across the nation. I want to congratulate you on your completion of this first phase of the masterclass about air quality in the environment. It's the 6th masterclass program. I know you missed the chance to participate in person, but I'm glad that this has gone on so well and you've made these connections and you're continuing to be able to address air quality issues. I also want to really applaud everyone who was involved in organizing this and continuing, because by re-envisioning it as a hybrid program, I think you've shown great creativity and you've allowed yourselves to continue to do this, because that's what we need to do right now. We need to be creative, and certainly with a partner like NUST, we can make this happen virtually as well as hopefully in person a little bit later on. Now, let me talk a little bit about our investment in US exchange programs, and our collaboration with PUAN it's critical to the work we do and the partnership between our nations. The US-Pakistan relationship has been close for over 70 years. It's also been very complex, and we have challenges. We've worked to strengthen our relationship, and we work to advance key priorities for both countries. For example, seeking peace in Afghanistan, expanding commercial cooperation. And for 70 years, I think the linchpin has been the most successful education collaboration in the world. We've been doing this for years, and you can see how it's helped also to strengthen our ability to fight COVID together. And it's strengthened our ability to do these sorts of programs. And I would mirror the words of Dr. Rizwan. This is a global issue, and yes, the West can help lead, but we need organizations like NUST, and we need partners like you who have proven your skill time and again. Without that kind of a collaboration, we will never get to where the world needs to get to. And I think it's critical that people all over the world are coming to this conclusion, because without that critical mass, you can't convince everyone what we need to do. Now, similarly, I've talked about our partnership with PUAN and our partnership in education. Our partnership with NUST is also longstanding. We've collaborated on innovative programs and projects for the development of Pakistan. The one that comes to mind that was incredibly successful was the Technology Incubator Center. And that program that helped startups scale up their businesses and brought 12 mature startup programs to the United States seeking funding. And one of them even received seed funding. And there's lots more connections I could talk about between the US Embassy and NUST and PUAN, including that there are 360 alumni of US exchange programs affiliated with NUST. They're teachers, they're researchers, and they're students in a variety of disciplines and professions. And this has continued to lead to our closer partnership. And I'm looking forward to visiting the institution to open our new Lincoln Corner there this month. And this will facilitate research materials, resource materials, and promises to be a great additional asset to the students. And I think it's a tangible example of our continued partnership. So returning to today's event, the Masterclass on Air Quality and Environment is a demonstration of our commitment to tackle climate issues. And this issue, climate change, and realizing that it is a crisis and making change a priority. It's a top priority of the new Biden administration. President Biden announced a new target for the United States to achieve a 50 to 52% reduction in net greenhouse gases by 2030. He moved swiftly to tackle the climate emergency and ensure we meet the demands of science to lead a clean energy revolution. And so here at the embassy and across our consulates in Lahore, Karachi, and Peshawar, we've installed monitors that enable us to share public data about air quality. I encourage you to follow those and to visit our web pages. You can see hourly data. As the good doctor said, improving air quality is essential to tackling the climate crisis, and it affects us all. And so we have to mitigate these severe impacts. And indeed, our collaboration and our participation in this masterclass is just the first step. I really want to thank you all for your support. I want to thank PUAN. I want to thank NUST, and I look forward to our continued cooperation. And I really appreciate, as always, the ability to meet and interact with our colleagues from PUAN. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your insightful insights with us, valuable insights with us. I'll take this opportunity of your presence to have a group photo with all the participants. If I can request all the participants to switch on your cameras, we will have a group photo. We will have one photo with serious mode and one photo with some fun learning. People outside also know that we have had great fun in this session. So please switch on your cameras for the next 30 seconds or so. I will wait for 10 seconds. माइक अपने म्यूट करें, सिर्फ कैमरा ऑन कर लें. Only camera should on, mic should be muted. Please switch on your cameras. Yes, great. All right, that's awesome. Let's wait for 10 more seconds so other people can also switch on the cameras. Ms. Anila will be taking the group photo. When you're all ready, just we'll let her know to capture the moment, these happy moments that we're all together. All right, Ms. Anila, are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready. I can
All
still
right.
see 19 non-video participants. So I
Uh,
feel that they don't want to
we,
be part of the group photo,
yeah,
right?
we all want. Let's give them a few more seconds if they want
Yeah.
to be a part of this
Okay.
this
And
memory.
and mashallah, we are a great group over here. So my screen is splitting into two parts. So you would need to actually forcefully
Take
force yourselves to smile for a longer duration of time.
longer
So
duration.
apologies for that in advance. So
All
on
right.
the count of three, let's take the first serious picture, or like you can say the normal picture, in which we won't be using any kind of our gestures. So on the
Okay.
count of three,
All
one,
right.
two,
One,
three.
2, 3.
Perfect. Just wait for 2 more seconds because I need to take photo of the people who are on my other screen. On the count of three. One, two, three. Perfect. Over to you, Ali, for some
All
fun
right.
pose.
Now we'll take, with your Dr. Saab, Dr. Rizwan, and Ms. Ray, with your permission, we'll take a group photo with having sign of X like this, if you allow us. So we'll take this photo. This is just for our social media. This is just.
Thank
Please
you.
make a sign.
Yeah,
All
thank
of us. All of us. All right. Great. Thank you. So, Mashanila,
yeah.
would you please?
Yep.
I'm taking the privilege of.
So, yeah,
Please. So
sure,
do it quickly as much
sure,
as you
sure.
can.
I'm just waiting for 2 more people to make that gesture. I'm waiting for
All right.
Rema and Mavia. Perfect.
Ji,
So I guess everyone is ready. On
it
the
should be
count of
like
three.
this.
One,
Awesome.
one,
Awesome.
two, three.
2 and 3.
Perfect.
All
Thank
done?
you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we are done.
Thank you.
We are done.
Uh,
Thank you so much, everyone.
Let me thanks the guest speaker, Dr. Rizwan Riaz, and from NAST, and Ray Castello from US Embassy. Thank you so much for taking your time out. We have a small activity with the participant, but thank you so much, sir, for joining us today.
Excellent. Have a great rest of the program and look forward to hearing the further results.
Thank you. Inshallah.
Thank you very much. And Miss, we are looking forward to hosting the US Embassy team in NAST as soon as you can get into your cars. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Doctor.
All right, जी, we have a post test available. मैं आप लोगों के साथ इसका लिंक शेयर कर रहा हूँ. आप kindly जो है इसको fill up कर दें. With that, we'll conclude this activity of ours. For post test, you already have performed the pre-test. This is the same. These are the same questions. It would not be any difficulty. There should not be any difficulty. We just want to see how valuable was it for you. Did you learn out of it something? Did some of the concept got clarity or not? I'm going to share the link in the WhatsApp group as well.
Ali, I guess we need some couple of volunteers as well for just training feedback as well.
Sure, sir. We definitely can. The link is open, so they have the privilege to um, submit the response. Thank you, Mr. Hassan, for the feedback. You're all environmental superheroes. All right, please, I have shared the link in the chat box as well and the WhatsApp group as well. Please access the link and submit your responses. What do you think is the best answer to the question that is in front of you? Ms. Shanila, please advise, should I stop the recording or shall it be continued?
I guess we can put it on pause for a while, and then
Congratulate PUAN, US Embassy, NUST, and all the speakers. I think very high quality presentations were made. And we were able to, despite working in this area for many years, I think from various angles, they looked at this issue of air quality and related matters in the country. The only thing which obviously an online workshop and a physical workshop, they have huge differences because people are not able to socially network and ask questions more freely. There should have been, I think, more time for question answer. Perhaps some of the speakers overshot the allocated time, so you were constrained, and time management is extremely important in these events. But still, it is fine because generally we were able to get a lot of, but for some, because all the participants are not at the same level of technical knowledge, they come from different backgrounds. So some of them may have questions or clarifications that they would need. So maybe in future events, you could space the presentation in such a manner that there is some time for overrunning the time, and plus at least some people should be able to ask a question. But it's still, I mean, I think it was very well organized. We brought in a diverse range of speakers, and we got really good information of very high standard, and found some really good resource persons for future projects and other activities. And it also showed that in Pakistan, the academia actually has a large number of highly specialized experts. But unfortunately, the development sector, the governmental system, the civil society, INGOs, donors, I think seldom use this expertise. So this should also be promoted, and organizations like NUST and PUAN should promote this. I'll just stop here.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Resume. All right, G. If you all have submitted the responses, so we have come to the conclusion. I would like to request Ms. Shanila to share her thoughts if she has anything to share with the participant. If not, I will request Dr. Fahim if he has anything to share on the occasion. And the last, I'll share something and we'll close with that. Is that okay? Ji.
Yeah, sure.
Ms. Shanila.
Thank you so much, Ali, for the invitation. Thank you so much, everyone, for the wonderful time we had over the course of these 3 days. I never knew before the start of these sessions कि हम इतना कुछ सीख रहे होंगे, and we are going to learn lots of things. But Alhamdulillah, this all went really well. जितना we were actually scared in the beginning कि पता नहीं, we are going to do it virtually. So how would things turn up? But shukr Alhamdulillah, things went really well. So towards the conclusion, just एक दो बातें कि I know you guys would be requesting me again and again about the resource material, so just don't worry about that. After the session, just give us some time. We are going to compile that in the form of various folders, and then we are going to share with you all a link to a Google Drive, jahan se you guys can always download the material. But just make sure that because these presentations, in presentations, some of the work is the original work of these research authors and doctorate fellows. So for that, please don't share the screenshots or the posts, etc. over social media. These are only for your own usage, and they are not for the wider dissemination. At the same time, we have taken photos. After the session, we will be working on the social media posts. So once we'll be done with posting this on our PUAN blog, on various social media forums like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, etc., I'll be sharing with you all the links for those posts via social media in those WhatsApp groups. So particularly for PUAN page, we have always turned on the mode of tagging, so you can always tag yourselves in those photos or in those posts. We'll be happy to facilitate you for that. At the same time, keeping in view the security of everyone who is involved in these sessions, and particularly you guys know that digital security के जिस तरह के हालात हैं, we would appreciate कि आप लोग अभी अपने own के ऊपर कोई भी screenshots वगैरह post ना करें. Let us PUAN and NUS make official posts on social media, and after that आप उनको जैसे चाहें उन posts को share कर सकते हैं. Towards the end, let's just pledge ourselves कि हमारे जितने भी हमने इस learning की है, इसमें let's pledge ourselves कि just take one gesture, कोई एक action आप सोच लें जो कि आप लोग ब्लेम के आज से, and you guys are going to commit ourselves, हम सब लोग मिल के अपने आप से कमिटमेंट करें कि एक कोई भी एक ऐसा सिंगल एक्शन जो कि हम लेंगे अपने इंडिविजुअल लेवल पे, so that we can make this world a more greener, more cleaner world for our next generations to come. With this, I am going to hand over mic to Mr. Ali, and it was a pleasure being with you all for these 3 days.
Absolutely, it was a pleasure. It was such a pleasure for us as well. It's so nice working with you all, Ms. Janila. It was so nice working with you. So active and so comprehensive at the same time. I would now request Shahid Wasim Saab. Shahid Saab, if you are here. Ji, Shahid Saab.
जी
Insights with us.
जी शुक्रिया अली साहब. मैं इसके लिए तैयार तो नहीं था, लेकिन चलें, टॉपिक ऐसे इस पे बात की जा सकती है. तो सबसे पहले डॉक्टर फहीम साहब, अली साहब और आपकी सबकी नर्स की टीम का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, और हमारे एंड पे हमारे हमारी सारी पॉन टीम का और हमारे जितने भी अलमनाई हैं, आल्दो कि हमने 74 अलमनाई को इस मास्टर क्लास प्रोग्राम के लिए सेलेक्ट किया था नेशन वाइड, बट I think we are around more, I think little bit over 50% attendance. But I think once we are going into the in-person, uh, we don't know, have timelines, that's और शायद उस वक्त फिर ये सारे हम सब लोगों को इकट्ठा कर सकें। तो मेरे एंड पे यही है कि जी आपके पास जितनी आपकी लर्निंग है, आप हमारे फ्यूचर में जो अलमनाई स्मॉल ग्रांट्स की या कोई और इस तरह की आइडियाज़ हैं तो आप डेफिनेटली शेयर करें और हम उसको फंड्स करने में या कोई ऐसी चीज़ जिसके आपको आइडियाज़ को स्केल अप कर सकें या इम्प्लीफाई कर सकें। सो वी आर ऑलवेज here for to support your ideas. So again, thank you, Nust, and thank you, our PON team.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you,
Thank you,
Shahid.
Lisa.
That was bilkul not planned, but I just wanted to give you a surprise as well at some time. So now I will move to Dr. Fahim to share his final remarks.
First of all, Ali, I would like to thank you and your team for putting a great effort to make this event successful for the last 3 years. And also same goes to the PUAN team. Great effort, great work, great set of attendees with the diversified background. It was really great experience to work with you guys, and the effort you have put, it's really hats off to your effort. And finally, it's paid off when you have such good feedback in audience. They are satisfied with our delivery and our effort, and it's really paid off. It's really appreciated. Taking this opportunity, I would like to thank all of my co-speakers who have put their effort in designing this course and these lectures to disseminate information and updated knowledge to you guys. And I hope everybody has justified and was able to convey their messages and knowledges to you. And at the end, it was a very excellent audience. It was a learning experience for us as well. Just one thing, that was the only time constraint. And you know, we teacher academicians are love to speak. Okay, and there was the only only constraint of the time, and we know that. I mean, sitting continuously at computer screen is a challenging task. So we will try to give you more time for question and answer session when we are in face-to-face mode, and we'll keep in mind this thing while designing the next phase as well. So it has been a wonderful experience, wonderful audience as well. Looking forward to have interaction with you somewhere else other than this as well. And feel free, we will share our details with you. Whenever you have any question related to our expertise, feel free, you can drop in a line to us. We would love to take your questions, and we would love to answer your queries with this as per our expertise and knowledge. So thank you very much again, and love to see you again for during the second phase.
Thank you, Dr. Fahim. Thank you for sharing the final remarks with us. I'll not taking much of your time. Already you're all, you're sitting in front of your screen for the last 4 hours. So first of all, I'd like to thank all the participants who have joined, who have taken the time out of their schedule. You know, it's not easy. Everyone is busy in their own way of doing things, but you've taken the time out. It shows the commitment of your own commitment towards the learning, and that is something very मेरे ख्याल है बहुत एक appreciating quality है. So many people have the opportunity of learning but they don't avail it, so you have that commitment towards the learning. That's the important thing. So grateful to you कि आप लोगों ने join किया, 3 दिन हमारे साथ बर्दाश्त भी किए. We have giving you tough time as well. Bombardment of informations भी थी, लेकिन you were able to comprehend and accept. As Ms. Shanila mentioned, we will share all the materials with you. Obviously it will take some time उसको compile करना और organize करने में. It's not something कि after this session you start texting or messaging कि जी आप share कर दें, would not be possible. We want to give you comprehensive information, so that will take a few days. Let me thank, on behalf of NUS Professional Development Center, let me thank Dr. Fahim and all his co-speakers. They have done a good, marvelous job. When we were thinking of this virtual, so there are so many people who are not comfortable with online training. There are people who are not good at delivering online training. So we had so many observations, how to go about it, what to do, what not to do. Let's have the pre-session, let's have test session. मैंने उनको बड़ा तंग किया. So I apologize as for all the inconvenience, Dr. Fahim. Now that the experience is good, so I'll thank you all the team and the speakers who are not even available here. Please pass on my appreciation on behalf of NUS. And also I'd like to thank the Pakistan-U.S. Alumni Network team. The people, कुछ लोग background पे होते हैं, especially let me announce their name. Wakar was the one who started this, for the last year or so. He was the one coordinating and, backforthing all the amendments in it. So I like to thank him. And then obviously Ms. Shanila, obviously Shahid Wasim Saab on the as in the lead. So all the people who have worked with us, thank you so much. And आप लोगों का भी, we will be working on the second phase. हम आप लोगों को इंशाल्लाह एक इससे ज़्यादा अच्छा experience डिज़ाइन करने का plan करेंगे, and we'll be coming up with a comprehensive plan for that. So before we do that, I'd like to conclude this meeting and thank you all for being with us in this. And as Ms. Hanila has mentioned, as Dr. Fahim has mentioned, Shahid Wasim has mentioned, learning, being with us for these, listening all these information is of like 50% of the job. Implementing all these information is 50% of that. So your 50% of the job is completed, but 50% is still yet to be completed. So please implement the ideas, the concepts that you have learned from here, and see, we would like to see the impact of the interventions that you take, inshallah. And Dr. Fahim mentioned, I'll share all the details of all the trainers. If you have any question, any concern, any ambiguity that you'd like to take advice on, that would be available to you. Dr. Fahim, you would like to say anything?
Yes, Ali, thank you very much. Yes, the last take-home message for the audience, please, as I give today's my presentation, that's exactly the crux of my all scientific work, that alone Pakistan cannot resolve its smog issue particularly. This is require regional effort, but also the individual effort as well. So you individuals can make a difference. Your circle of influence, and also you can educate people. So please educate yourself and your circles, social circles, friend circles, family circles. Try to take one action that supports our environment to get green, go green. Please. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Stay blessed, stay happy, and stay safe. With this, I'll pause the recording and we'll end the session.